Look at this stadium. A rugby match is governed by strict, inflexible parameters. An 80-minute clock, 15 players on a side, one oval ball. The rules are written down, and the physical reality of the field is indisputable. But as soon as the light from that field hits a human retina, the data stops being neutral. 80,000 people in these stands process the same physical movements through decades of personal history and professional baggage. The moment the referee blows the whistle for kickoff, that shared, objective reality begins to fracture. Take an American Gridiron commentator dropped into the broadcast booth. They evaluate the play against the commercialized standards of the NFL, staring in total bewilderment at the lack of forward passes and the complete absence of plastic helmets. Meanwhile, someone with intense obsessive-compulsive disorder ignores the athletic competition entirely. Their brain fixates on a crooked corner flag and a faintly painted 50-meter line, unable to look past the lack of absolute geometric symmetry. These immediate, divergent reactions suggest that what we call objective reality is a fragile consensus, easily overridden by our psychological defaults. Consider the scrum. Physically, it is two opposing packs of athletes locking together in a pure test of collective strength and leverage. But to a blogger, that physical formation vanishes. They see the scrum as a blog mob, fighting an epic struggle for freedom of expression against autocratic gatekeepers. A corporate lawyer turns the field into a courtroom. The scrum becomes a legal lagotla, and any off-site offense is tracked as a failure to file an answering affidavit in time. A disgruntled worker sees the same mass of bodies as a bitter labor dispute. The teams are divided into employer and employee factions, engaging in toxic corporate management and union negotiations disguised as sport. When people whose lives are defined by power dynamics observe a neutral event, they rewrite that event into a system of control they already know how to navigate. A player breaks the line, only to be brought down by a sudden, violent tackle resulting in a penalty. A professional censor panics at the contact. They perceive the collision as evidence of societal moral decay, attempting to restrict broadcast times to hide the tackle while mentally renaming the players to enforce corporate censorship. An evangelist interprets the exact same whistle as literal spiritual warfare. The penalty becomes a direct temptation from Satan, requiring the referee to manage the game using Bible verses rather than a rulebook. A neurologist ignores the morality and the score completely. They diagnose the tackled player's fall in real time, attributing the impact to the athlete's motor cortex efficiency and recent dietary cholesterol levels. A Myers-Briggs expert strips away the physical athleticism. They credit the aggressive impact to the tackling player being an impulsive ESTP personality type. Raw physical conflict forces the human brain to rapidly deploy its deepest frameworks, whether moral, religious, or clinical, to rationalize the chaos on the field. As the clock winds down, the physical play breaks down, and the crowd swarms the pitch in total disorder. A crime specialist admires the lawlessness. They lean into their own urges, assigning movie villain personas like Freddy Krueger and the Terminator to the players swinging fists. A commentator with dissociative identity disorder fractures the broadcast. They rapidly cycle through the personas of a lawyer, a nurse, and an accountant, resulting in second-by-second contradictions about what is happening. A conspiracy theorist abandons the sport. They point to the referee's standard arm signals as evidence of covert government operations and alien mind control programs. A severe drug addict hallucinates the players into controlled substances like Valium and cannabis, experiencing the entire match as a shrinking, hazy narcotic trip. At these extreme levels of subjective distortion, the original objective event ceases to exist. It is replaced by a self-contained, inescapable alternate reality. The final whistle sounds. The remaining players shake hands beneath the stadium scoreboard, returning us to a standard, measurable reality. Based on everything we just witnessed, who actually won the game? To a corrupt politician, the score on the board is irrelevant. The match was a victory because it functioned as a successful electioneering tool to appease the masses and secure votes. To a fashion expert, the event was a disaster of mismatched uniforms and ruined designer labels. A single objective event travels toward an observer, passing through a thicket of mental filters. If a match shatters into 16 realities, the same logic follows for everything. We aren't disagreeing on facts. We are just looking through 16 pieces of distorted glass.
80,000 minds, a collision of the physical, leaving logic far behind. Did objective truth exist?
This is a true collaboration between human and machine.
Signals start to fray in the heat of the collision. The facts just drift away. We call it the
Elevate your
magic game
perspective.
that never